What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Kill Switch Gamers channel. Today we're going to be going over a short tutorial on SlOBS, or StreamLabs OBS. Make sure you stick around. And welcome back to the Kill Switch tutorial, guys. Thanks for stopping by. So let's go ahead and get this tutorial started. So, the first things first, you're going to need to download StreamLabs OBS. You're going to want to go to any of your browsers and go to streamlabs.com. And currently StreamLabs, or SlOBS as you will hear it referred to, is currently still in beta. So you're going to do the download beta for Windows 7 Plus. It's only a 245 megabyte file, so it shouldn't take very long, unless you live in like BFE. But that's besides the point. So once you have that downloaded, you're basically going to be greeted with this page. So scenes are different actions within OBS. So just to give you guys an example, I'm actually going to rename this stream to go recording. And then your second one would be live streaming. So each different scene has its own sources. These sources are microphones, capture cards, images, pictures, videos, whatever you want it to be, it's in there. So for the purpose of setting this up for you guys, we're actually going to go ahead and do the live streaming. What you want to do is you want to go over here to sources and click the plus sign. The plus sign will give you a bunch of options to use. So right now, we want to go ahead and add our, I'm going to go ahead and add my Xbox. And right now my Xbox is on a capture card. It's the Elgato HD60S. I don't get paid by them, but I will link the Amazon link in the description below. So we're going to go ahead and go to Video Capture Device. And then you just hit Add Source. And it'll ask if you want to name it. I like to name my stuff so I know what it is. I don't really care too much for the generic stuff. So I'm going to name this, if I can spell correctly, Elgato HD60S. That's the capture card that I personally have. And once you're done doing that, you're going to hit Add New Source. It'll take a second to get on there. And you'll see here where it says Device. You'll have a blank box, and then you'll have an arrow or a box that says device. You're going to click on the down arrow, and depending on what you have connected to your computer, you're going to see a bunch of options, or you might only see one option. So for me, I want to capture my Xbox right now. So I want to hit Game Capture HD60S Video. Once I select that, it's going to lag for a quick second. And you can see it in the background. Now, I usually leave all of these options defaulted to what they currently were. So after this, I'm going to go ahead and hit Done. So now you can see, my background, some of the games that I have. These plebs playing Fortnite. So now that we've added our video device, let's go ahead and add a microphone. So microphone setups are going to be different depending on what you buy. So if you are like most streamers who will either buy the Blue Yeti Snowball or the Blue Yeti Blackout Edition, those are the two most common USB microphones. You'll want to hit the plus sign again, and you're going to go to Audio Input Capture. You're going to hit Add Source. And like I said, I like to name my things so that way I don't get confused on what they are. So I have an Audio-Technica AT2020, and excuse me, I pair it with my Go XLR mix amp. So once you're done naming it, you're gonna hit Add New Source. And you'll see the same thing is basically what the capture card was. it'll have device, and then it'll have, again, this is depending on what your computer has all plugged into it and what kind of software you run. But you can see here I've got a ton of stuff on here. Well, for me personally, I know that broadcast stream mix to TC Helicon Go XLR is my microphone. You can see it there, and you can see the levels bouncing. So you will hit done. Now, once that's done, let's go ahead and go back to scenes. So we've added, so far, the Elgato HD60S and the AT2020 with a Go XLR. Now, when you go to recording, nothing's here. That's because this is a different scene. This is like a different page that you have to write on, per se. You have to add that stuff back. But the good thing about that is you can hit plus. Let's say you want to add your capture card to this one as well. You hit video capture device, add source, and you can hit add existing source, and it'll automatically have it put on there for you. So you don't have to go back and re-add it. You can just quickly go through. Now there's a ton of things that you can do on StreamLabs OBS. You have display capture, where you can capture however many monitors you have. Right now I have 3, so I can capture any monitor that I want. Browser source, this is going to be more of if you use stream alerts. So whenever you look at a streamer and they have all those nifty cool things popping up saying, hey, this person followed with a little Giphy. So you create that on a different website. I'll go into that on another video. And you're basically going to plug in, let's see, you're going to plug in the website, and then it will be overlaid in the lime green, and it will be transparent in your stream. So this is a horrible example of it, but basically there's going to be no background, and when somebody subscribes or follows or likes what you're doing, this here will pop up and say, hey, you got a new follow. So that's what a browser source is. Let's see, image, we should all know what an image is. You can add, funny face to the, so that people can see, or you can add, somebody lost the game. Image slideshow, I've never personally had to use that, so I can't really talk about what that exactly is. Display capture, we've already gone over that. Game capture, this is if you are playing on PC, you can capture the game. Basically, let's say if you don't have a capture card, this captures a window, almost like window capture exactly here. It pretty much does the same thing. Audio input, we have talked about that. Vlc Source, another way to add videos to your stream. Media source, this is what you can use to add in songs. So MP3s, MP4s are going to be your videos. You can add it there. These are just the different types of files that it will support. So a lot of the big ones like MP4, FLV, MP3, WAV, GIF, WebM, MK, text GDI. So this is just text that you can put on top of your layers. And let's do, this is a test. And then you can change the font from here. Let's see, font size, font style. I want it bold. And font size. And then you can do the background color. You can change it. Gradient. You can align it. You can do outline, so that way it sticks out a little bit better. Once you hit done, this is going to add another layer. You can add this wherever on the stream. So if you want to put like your gamer tag up here, you can. And that way people say, when you're streaming and they go, hey, can we play? You can just say, hey, yeah, my gamer tag's up at the top. Make sure you add me. Trust me, that is a very, very, very helpful thing. There's a lot of people that I've had ask me what my gamer tag is. And I'll say, oh, hey, bro, it's up there. And then they'll add. Boom, done. Let's go ahead and go on. video capture device. That's going to be your web cameras. That's going to be your capture cards. That's about it on that. Scenes, you can add a new scene within a source if you would like. I've never done that. There's no point in doing that, so I would just stick very far away from that. Guys, we're going to go ahead and move on to the settings portion of this video. So here, you have a ton of options that you can do, like with anything. Your general tab, if for some reason your slobs decides to crap out on you, there's one thing that you can do. It's not recommended, but you can do it. You can delete cache and restart, which is basically, it's going to wipe out all of your scenes and it's going to wipe out all of your sources. So I would only do that in case of an emergency. Let's see, output, you can read along with different options. You can do start replay buffer when streaming, keep replay buffer active, enable source alignment snapping. To be completely honest, I've never had to use any of these, so they're kind of irrelevant. When you go to stream, you're going to have a bunch of options. So stream type, you can, if you have your own server, you can put in your own custom server, URL and stream key. But most of you are going to be using a streaming service. You'll go down to service, click the drop down, and you have a bunch of stuff. Now slobs, OBS Studio, OBS Live, they're all adding more and more services each month. So you can see here that you can stream to Twitch, YouTube/YouTube Gaming, Smashcast, Mixer. So what you're going to see is you're going to see a variance of RTMP and FTL. Just a little backstory on that. Mixer, who is now owned by Microsoft, originally came up with FTL. FTL stands for faster than light. So Mixer currently is the only streaming service that you can use that has a less than 1 second delay. Which is great for real-time views when people are chatting with you, so they don't have to wait 30 seconds for you to hear them. It's great, but it also comes at a price too, is if you get to that high enough level in gaming where you're streaming, you're at a competition, you have stream snipers. Or, hell, you don't even have to be at a competition, but you'll have people watching your stream and they know where you're at because you have no delay in your stream. So I would just be cautious about that one. I personally still use FTL. I have nothing against it. But use it at your own discretion, you know. Hopefully people play fair, but we all know that's not going to happen. Anyways, going on. We have Facebook Live for Facebook's gaming. We have Restream.io and Restream.io FTL. So Restream is a service that you can get that it's free for the most part. You have to pay for some things. But let's say if you wanted to increase your viewer count, you wanted to stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Mixer all at once. Go create a free Restream.io account. You can do all of that for free. The only time you have to pay for it is if you want to game on Facebook Live as well. So server, you're going to pick the closest server to you. So like for me, mine's Dallas, Texas, because I'm literally right next to Dallas, Texas. Let's go ahead and go to output. So there are different ways of looking at this. I won't get into too much detail because this takes too long to explain. Your bit rate will be determined on your internet stability, your internet speed, and your computer. So I would look up a bit rate chart on Google and get the best bit rate that works for you. There, your encoder, if you have a great PC, like let's say it's top of the line or even mid-range, I personally would use hardware NVE, NC, NVEC, or the new one. Everybody's ranting and raving about the new one, so I would just go with this. For the slower PCs and the lower tier gaming PCs, I would stick with X264. It'll just be easier on your hardware. Your audio bitrate, most of the time it's going to need to be set at 128. 128 is usually the sweet spot and the spot that everybody tells you to be in. So from there you can see that we have the recording path. So this is my recording path, and you can put that, you can browse it and put it to anywhere you want. That's not my actual path that I put all my stuff in. Recording quality, this one kind of determines on your storage on your PC. So if you have a large storage device like a 3 or 4 terabyte hard drive, and if you're going to stream often, you could go with lossless quality. They're really, really big files, but you can do that. Most people, though, go with either high quality or indistinguishable. I personally use indistinguishable, but I also have 16 terabytes at my disposal. Not a lot of people have that, but just be cautious. From there, you can see your recording format. Personally, I always choose MP4. MP4 is one of the widest known formatting systems for videos. So let's say if you record or stream something and it comes out into an FLV format, and you want to upload it to YouTube, I don't believe that YouTube supports FLV. So that means that that video or that stream that you did that you really wanted to upload so you can let people watch it, they can't because it's in that format. Now granted, you can change it, but it's more of a pain in the butt if you do it later. So you might as well just set up yourself for success and go ahead and put it to MP4 right now. Muxer settings, don't know anything about that. Your replay buffer, this should always be between 10 and 20 seconds. From there, we're going to go ahead and go to audio. Your sample rate, most people will stick with 44.1 kilohertz. I have a studio mic, and I choose 48 kilohertz. So I would just do what the recommended is on your microphone setup. Desktop audio device, you really don't need to mess with any of these because all of these options here are going to be sources that you put in here and can mess with later. Going down to video. So this is what I want to stress to you guys the most. You want to stream in the highest quality possible. That's any viewer, any streamer will tell you that. So your base resolution should be set at the highest it can go. So if you have 4K, I'd set it to 4K or 2K, or for instance for myself, 1920 by 1080. Your output is what your viewers are going to see. Now, part of this of why I have it in 720 instead of 1080, you all need to realize that big league streamers, people who get partnered, let's say on Twitch or Facebook or YouTube, they are the only ones that have 1920 by 1080 unlocked, where people can actually view at that resolution. Most of everybody else that you come in contact with, they're streaming at 720. That's one of the benefits Twitch offers for you to, when you get partner, is that, hey, we offer you 1920 by 1080, true 1920 by 1080. So until you get to that point, scale your resolution down for your output to 720. It will also make it to where it lags less for your viewers, because some people don't have high enough internet to be able to keep constantly refreshing that type of resolution, and the stream will lag out on them. That's the last thing you want to do with your viewers. Downscale filter, this is how it renders in the background. I keep mine on bicubic. Lexos is more for if you have a really good processor. I would not do that unless you have like an i7 8700 or even an i9. Your FPS, you should set at 60. Now again, this determines on the platform that you stream at. So on Facebook, for instance, until you get into their level up program, you are going to be stuck at 30 FPS, which it still looks great. It looks awesome. But if you want that extra crispiness, you have to get to their level up program to be able to get to 60. Going down to hotkeys. So hotkeys, I feel that they are important. There's a lot of people when they hear hotkeys that they get scared of that word because they're like, man, I need to bind, I need to do this, I need to do that. It's very, very simple. All you're going to do is you're going to look over here at your scenes and you see that you have recording and live streaming. So I would not pay attention to the top here. You see live streaming here. So you're just going to go down and go down. Now there's a ton of stuff that you can bind a key to. I personally only use it for one thing, and that is to switch scene. So I'll set live streaming as F2. And then I'll come down here to recording, switch scene, F1. Now when you hit done, hit your F1 and it automatically swaps to that. Hit F2 and F3, depending on how many scenes you have, you can quickly swap. So if you want something like instead of this being recording, you could do a stream starting soon. And then when your go live time is ready, you can hit F2 or whatever your command is, and it swaps over and you say, hey everybody, welcome to the stream. So that pretty much covers it on hotkeys. There's a bunch of stuff you can do. So like if you have a mic and you're using it on PC, you can hit A for push to talk or whatever you want it to be. To get rid of it, so let's say if you make a mistake, you just hit the minus sign and it'll take it off of there. Let's go ahead and dive into advanced. Most of this stuff you won't touch. Even most of the more veteran, if you will, StreamLabs OBS users don't mess with these as much or at all. But most of this stuff you won't have to worry about. Scene collections. So remember in the beginning when I said I would be very cautious of you clearing your cache. Before you clear your cache, go to scene collections. And what you're going to do is you're going to hit export overlay file. And basically what that means is everything, let's say you have like 30 things in the scenes. In each scene you have 50 different sources. Nobody's going to want to redo that all. So what you want to do is you want to export, name the file, and put it somewhere on your computer. Once you do that, you can then clear the cache, and basically you'll see it where it starts all over again. But then you're going to hit settings, scene collections, import overlay file, and it works perfectly. I've had to do it a couple of times because Slobs, like any other program, has its issues. But it's worked wonderfully. So right now they're saying this is an experimental feature. I've yet to have anything happen to it. Notifications. So this is if here's your troubleshooter. If you want to enable notifications. Notifications meaning like if somebody donates bits to you or follows you, you can mute that notification, or you can have it on. Most people tend to keep it on because it's for the viewer side. It looks awesome that, hey, my name's up there, they recognized me. So that's a big thing in a lot of people's opinion. Appearance. So you have your different themes. You have night theme, and oh my god, this is gonna hurt my eyes. Oh, that looks horrible. Then you have day theme. Let me switch that back. Personally, I use night theme on almost anything that I can that offers it, because it just looks a ton better. Scene item selection mode. No clue what that is. Never had to use it in the 4 years that I've been streaming. Remote control. So this is a cool feature that you can use with Streamlabs. You can actually stream from your phone with this QR code. So this QR code is different for everybody. Please don't share that code because that is yours unless you want to get hacked. But yeah, you can stream from your phone if you're doing some type of live event like QuakeCon or TwitchCon, or you're just wanting to connect with your followers that day. That's pretty much. It's very useful. I've used it once. Had no issues at all. Now, granted, I was on Wi-Fi, so I don't know how good it does on cellular service. Your dashboard, themes, editor, live. These are some quick little tools up here. As you have your undo buttons. So if maybe you didn't want this text there, it goes back a space, kind of like Photoshop, Word, Excel, all that stuff. You'll have a little night mode here. Oh, that's so bad. Right here, this will put you in studio mode so you can see the edit and live, so you can edit your stuff there as well. Log out button, log in button. Guys, that's about it. If you have any questions, make sure to drop comments below. Also, it would really benefit us to have your follow and sub. So please follow, like, subscribe if you can. Helps us out. I will be linking all, so like the StreamLabs OBS download, I'll be linking that in the description. And also you can find me streaming every Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.